Hi Stampers, this is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. Sorry we missed you at the Sugar Cookie Socials. I thought I would do a quick how-to video so you can see how to assemble your kits. Maybe you can catch us on the next social. Go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com for more details on future Zoom make and take parties. So let's turn to the camera to my table and we'll get started assembling the kits. Your kit would have come in an envelope like this, so go ahead and find that and pull it out and see what you got. Inside would have been your invitation for the Sugar Cookie Social, and then a business card, and there's a $5 off coupon on the back of my card, so make sure you redeem that. There's a piece of pattern paper, which we'll use with the yellow kit. So we're gonna first work on the green kit. So dump everything out of your green kit. The shaded spruce is the color of the card base. And then I'm gonna show you what we're going for. So here are the two designs, just depending on which pattern you have up. The white with the foliage or the just jade filled in background. Okay, so what we're gonna do is set just one of those in the upper corner and work on all of our pieces. So the inside is just the Whisper white, so go ahead and attach that to your inside. And then there's one less thing for us to figure out where it belongs on your card. And then the next thing to do is decide which embossing folder you want to use on your Smoky Slate cardstock. So I used an embossing folder from the Forever Greenery pack. So I'll step away and do that. I'll be right back. Okay, here is the embossing folder that I chose to process my Smoky Slate piece. So I've got an open space right up there and the vines on either side, left to right. And then open space helps your eye move around to from the top left to your sentiment and then to open your card. And to adhere this down, I would pull out my green glue because it's now embossed, so it's not completely flat. And that green glue will sink in the impressions and grab onto the shaded spruce card base. All right, next up is to decide, do you want the Just Jade pattern up or the white and the leaf pattern? So I know I've already done two of the Just Jade, so we're gonna do, just for a little bit different, the white side up. Again, I used the green glue because we're filling in all those impressions made on that Smoky Slate. Okay, next thing is your strip of Smoky Slate. I've got fancy edges on my strip. I don't have just plain straight edges. So both of these edges we can create using the Label Me Lovely punch. So all you do is put your punch through the back side. I'm just gonna do a corner round this time, or what kind of looks like a corner round. So you just insert it through, depress it down so it's holding the paper, make sure the paper didn't shift, and then you press and you get a corner round. And to get the other squiggly look, you'd put it in the corner of the punch. So I'll have both of my ends though looking the same with that rounded look. There. And this is also the punch I used to punch your shape out that I included in your kit. Okay, so the strip we just rounded our edges with, that goes on next towards the top, maybe a ½ of an inch down. Now we're going to stamp a sentiment, and I included this big Label Me Lovely punch, so hopefully you'd have a sentiment that would fit inside. The sentiment that I'm using is Wishing I Could Heal Your Heart. It is from the new Celebration stamp set, Heal Your Heart. So if you purchase a $50 order during Celebration, which starts January 5th, this is one of the options you could select with your purchase. Okay, so then I've got the Smoky Slate ink pad here. And I'm going to try to get this straight. Now, one of the things I like about this stamp set is that it has cursive writing, so you don't have to get everything totally straight, but I can tell that eye is not lined up with the edge. And so I'm going to tip my stamp a little bit to the left, knowing that, oh, and that was a little bit too much. So I'll use this side. That's totally fine. All right, we're done with the ink pads. I'm going to go ahead and shut that up. Next would be to pop our tag that we just stamped. And go ahead and stop this video and restart it as you work along at your own pace. That's kind of one of the nice things about YouTube videos is that you can work at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with what I'm doing. All right, next layer is this silver metallic mesh. It's part of the Halloween suite, The Magic in This Night in the fall catalog, but it's a perfect little something, adding a little something to any kind of card. Doesn't have to be Halloween. So what I did was I squinched, is that even a word? Squished it in the center and then placed it over a glue dot. And then I don't need to put another glue dot on there. Well, no, I'm not going to. I don't need to put another glue dot because the blue adhesive back gems that I included in your kit, you should have hopefully a strip of 3, 1 large, 1 and 2 small. They are adhesive backed. So that goes over this silver faux bow that we created. And then 1 of these blue gems on either side to the right of the punched shape, and then 1 to the left. So that is your first card kit in your Zoom Make and Take Sugar Cookie Social. So, oops, I wanted to bring in the other pattern. So depending on which pattern you have up, which kind of embossing folder you use in the back, and then what kind of punch you use to pretty up your ends there, yours might look a little different. All right, so that was the first one. So the second card kit has yellow in it, and I have to look and see where my yellow kit is. Here we go. Here's the yellow kit. I'm gonna move some things out of the way there and open it up and see what you got. So this time we're going to emboss it might be a Daffodil Delight, it might be a crushed curry or a bumblebee. I picked up all the yellows in the pattern paper. Oh, you gotta grab your slice of pattern paper as well. So first thing you want to do is process your cardstock through your embossing machine with an embossing folder. And this one I use the Dainty Diamonds. So it's got the squares, and then at each point there's a little impression. So it kind of looks like, I don't know, a glittery Star Night. Okay. Your next step, oh, I need to bring in the card and show you what we're going to do. We're going to make this card. So here you can see the Dainty Diamonds impression there on the Daffodil Delight. All right, your next step is to cut down your pattern paper. And this is from the celebration offering as well. You spend $50 and this is one of the offerings you can get. A designer series paper pack, 6 different patterns per pack. So this is just one of the patterns. You're going to cut off 3/4 of an inch right there. And that's to make it fit on your card front. And I'm back. I've cut off my 3/4 of an inch. So since my card base is, I'm losing my protective shield there. There you go. Not that I really need it. It kind of keeps it clean. And if it really gets skunky, I take that off of there. All right, tumble glue that down. Hold it down for a few seconds. There we go. All right, next piece, one of your white ones can go on the inside of your card. All right, and then I used 2 different stamp sets. So I pulled out my Butterfly Gala and also the Gift Wrapped. So I've got one of the bows from Gift Wrapped already mounted on a block. And pulling in the Flirty Flamingo ink pad. I will stamp one of the bows on the second piece of Whisper White. giving it a good press because I didn't pull in my paper piercing mat. And then butterflies. We need some butterflies. So I'm going to pull in this stamp set, Butterfly Gala. There are 4 different butterflies, and they're both the small and the large are connected. But I did on one set, I cut them apart. Because on your envelope, you probably don't want the large and the small butterfly next to each other. So there's one there, and there's one down there. So that's the reason why you might want to cut them apart. But then you might still want to use your bow or your punch to punch these out. So just meet up where you cut and press them together and press on the block, and it will stamp just fine like that and punch out. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to show you the gift bow builder punch, and that I do believe is retiring. It only made it in one catalog. I don't think it's carrying over to the spring catalog. It cuts out a mini tag and then the center of the bow as well. And the mini tag also has a coordinating stamp set that you can stamp in some holly and some little snow star sprinkle like looking things. All right, and then the butterfly duet punch. You place it through the back side and you perfectly punch those out. Oh, you know, before I do that, I want to fill in. I want to fill in so I don't have to color these, and I can add a little bit of color easily. So these full shapes are what you use to color in. So I'm dabbing into my ink pad and then dabbing on my mat to take off some of the ink so that the full strength doesn't overpower all of those little lines. There. Let's do the envelope as well. You got the stamps, and you got the stamps out, you may as well decorate up. And then there. And I didn't get quite a good impression on that. You should really have pulled out your paper piercing mat, because I'm stamping, although I'm stamping on a desk blotter, it still is there. That filled in a little better. It still is better to stamp with photopolymer stamps on your paper piercing mat. It just needs that little extra bit of cushion to transfer the ink from the stamp to the paper. All right, and then a little note is also from Butterfly Gala. And then I'm done with the ink pad. And then here, we perfectly punch these out, even though I've separated the 2 stamps, just like that. All right, we'll get the envelope out of the way and finish assembling our card. Okay, next step would be, I'm gonna hold this up to the light. I attached a doily, so it's not fully attached because it's vellum. And if you put glue under vellum, you'll be able to see wherever the glue is. So you need to strategically add something over vellum to cover up the adhesive. And all I did was run a little bit of tape runner where I knew the white a little note was going to be, and place the doily over that. And that's going to be enough to secure it down. All right, and then we love our dimensionals. So I just had some in my hand here. One on either side of the loop on the gift bow, and then I didn't use one for the small butterfly. Had that one flat. Oh, and before we put the gift bow on, there's a piece of this metallic holographic ribbon that was part of the Snowflake Splendor suite in the fall catalog. Looking for my glue dots here. Just good. It's perfectly sized to cover up a glue dot. So just a glue dot on either end, and place that towards the bottom. And it adds just a little bit of glitter and picks up all the colors in the pattern paper. So gift bow goes over that, kind of covering up any kind of adhesive might be showing through where I laid down for the doily to adhere on. So see, the doily is kind of up like that. All right, now as long as I have the glue dots here, we're going to use that to attach the small butterfly. And then on the inside, we've got this strip that you cut off. It goes at the top. And then you can use a glue dot. I'm going to actually use a glue dot on either wing to secure the butterfly on the inside. Last, you've got a strip of champagne rhinestones. So one rhinestone goes in the center of the small butterfly. And the second rhinestone, the other two, so kind of right near where the bow is. Not on the bow because it'll probably make the card a little too thick to mail. But since we popped up the bow with some dimensionals, that'll kind of make it evenly, or even thickness. So hopefully the postal system won't have an issue with mailing this card. I tend to mail my cards this way, so if you've ever gotten a card from me, that's why. You make your card a uniform thickness and it'll go through the mail system a little easier. All right, so those are the cards from the Sugar Cookie Social from December 2020. So those are two of the cards, and then here are the other two. So I hope you enjoyed attending the Sugar Cookie Social or receiving a fun surprise in your mailbox. I hope to be doing more of these in the future. So leave me a comment on my blog at superawesomestamper.com if you'd like to be included in future Sugar Cookie Social Zoom parties. All right, thanks for watching. This is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley. Bye.